Freya. So today I'm doing a bit of a different video. I'm going to be explaining and telling my experience of seeing Blackpink in Manchester because it was everything. Like, it was just absolutely amazing. When Blackpink announced that they were going to be doing like a world tour, I thought they would only be coming to London, and they did originally only announce Wembley, and then like 1 or 2 days later they announced Manchester Arena after the Wembley tickets went on sale and there was like a high demand. I mean, I would understand if they like were only coming to Wembley, like that's a big enough excuse for me not to go. Like, Wembley is far away, but Manchester Arena is like half an hour away from my house, so why would I not go? I go to Manchester Arena all the time anyway. So I didn't know who to go with at all, because my friend Libby, who I mentioned before on my channel, she was gonna go with her boyfriend at the time in Wembley, and then they announced Manchester, and so then she had to sell her Wembley ticket, but at that time they just thought that they were going to go to Wembley, so I wasn't going to ask her because there was no way that she was going to go to both, if that makes sense. So then I asked my friend Jess, who is a big BTS fan, and at the time she wasn't a very big Blackpink fan, but she was like, you know, anything for you, I'll come with you. And her friend Suji is like a Blackpink fan as well, so we just planned to get what was best available for like a cheap price. We had Block 105 at Manchester, which is like at an angle, and I was happy that I got tickets, that I was seeing them anyway. But then as time had progressed closer to the concert, I kept seeing all these like fan cams and like pictures of people being front row, and I don't know why. I mean, obviously I know why. I'm obsessed with the girls. I was like, I need to be standing. I like this atmosphere of standing. I think seating at a concert's really strange because it's like just a bit weird. Standing for me is just better. So I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know who I'm gonna have to like finesse, but I'm going to standing with Libby or even by myself. I just wanted to like upgrade my view a little bit, but then at the same time my seated view was really good anyway, so if it didn't work I would be fine. So me and Libby and her ex-boyfriend now went to the venue, and he had never been to a concert before. He was really nervous, he doesn't like crowds, he was like anxious and stuff. And so then me and Libby were like, yo, you can sit in my seat and I will have your standing ticket, so you don't have to deal with the crowds, and you can be with my friends, and you won't have to worry about like losing Libby, and you'll have a designated seat where you can see the concert. And he wasn't really a big Blackpink fan, and so then he was like, yeah, like I prefer that, like I'd rather have seated than worry about standing, queuing and getting to the front or whatever. So we swapped tickets, and if anyone saw my story that I suddenly went from like a seated ticket to standing, that's how. I left my house at like 4:30. We got to the venue at like 20 to 6 and doors opened at 6:30. In the grand scheme of things, for standing, that means that you're basically going to be at the back. There's no way of you getting barrier if you're arriving like 40 minutes before the doors open, but somehow it worked. And I don't really, yeah, I'm going to explain, because people just probably assume that I pushed or I like queued all day. I don't know what people thought. So as we were queuing, the security guards inside the venue put up this, and it basically said that no recording of any kind, no live streaming, video, audio recording on any device, or even on like mobile phones, is not allowed. They would have told us it from the off, I would have been fine, but it's the fact that I got there ready to take some like fan cams of Swallow, and then like they say that you can't, and I was like, oh. I'm just gonna say that multiple security guards treated the policy differently. Like, I heard some people got sent out, I heard some people were told to delete videos. The security guard that I was with was like, fine, but I'll explain that later. So we get into the venue at 6:30 and show him a ticket, it's fine. And then me and Libby went to the merch stand and got my light stick. It's over there, I can't bother getting it, but it's there. And then we went and got into a queue. And I don't know if this is like this at every venue, because all of the concerts that I go to is at the Manchester Arena, and they do this at every concert, so I don't know if this is like a normal standard issue thing. What they do is they let everyone in, they open the doors everywhere, you know, with the merch, the food, the toilets, like that part, but the actual doors to go into the seated standing stage room bit wasn't open. That means that at every door of each like seated block, like to go down into the stage section, those were all closed with like a barrier where the security guards on. It was organized, but it was kind of like, I can't explain it very well, so it sounds like it wasn't organized. It was. And so then me and Libby get behind this queue that was literally right in front of the doors that we came into. I got my light stick and just jumped into the queue, went over to a security guard and was like, where do I get my wristband for standing? Like, and so then she was like, go to the back of this queue and you'll be able to see a man with like loads loads of wristbands. So I went and got my wristbands. This like 27-year-old man who was like flirting with me. It was really strange. He told me that I looked 20. I'm like, I'm 17, I'm in sixth form, and he was like, wow, like I've finished uni now. And I was like, haha. Good for you, I guess. I just left the queue again, left Libby where we were stood, went to the front, and I was like, when are these doors being opened? Why aren't people going in? And then she was like, oh, we need to get the okay from production that we can let people in. We're gonna let all these VIP people in front of you go in first. They went to go in an hour ago. And then I turned around, and every single person that was in front of me in this queue was VIP, and VIPs have their own section in standing, if that makes sense. So we were at the front of like the non-VIP part of this specific door. And bear in mind, there's like 20 blocks. So like me being the front of one queue could have meant fuck all, like front. So you can see me, like I took a photo of the door, like I was at the front at this point. But I was like, but that doesn't mean anything. Like people could run down to the stairs before I did and get to the front. Like it was weird, and it was the way that they had no way of separating the people that had queued since 7 in the morning and the people that had queued since 20 to 6, which was me, on getting to barrier. Like it was more just, look. They open the doors, and what they do is at each of these stairs, there's a security guard at the front like this. And then everyone that has a ticket and is going to the concert will stand behind them and go down the stairs with them in front, basically meaning so no one can run, no one can fall over and hurt themselves, which is fair enough. They don't want to get sued. So the security guard is there to make sure everyone's safe. And so then they're telling us to like put our arms in the air so they can see that we've got our wristbands on and all's good to go. But for some reason, the woman that was in front of me was going like way faster than all the other security guards, and they're meant to go at the same pace, so it's like fair. But she was like 1 or 2 steps ahead of everyone else. And in a situation like this, like 1 or 2 steps means like a lot. So I was the first person to step my foot onto general admission standing, and I got there at 20 to 6 when the doors opened at 6:30. I just don't really know how that happened, and me and Libby were like, what the hell? I got onto the floor at 2 minutes past 7, and then the girls came out at like 8:15. So for like that hour, I was speaking to the security guard 8 in front of us, and we somehow got onto the topic of Ariana. Obviously, it kind of had to have been brought up because we were talking about security and the filming thing. And then I mentioned that I was there, and I didn't think they heard me because he was one security guard having a conversation with like 10 people because we all wanted to know why this rule was a thing. I was filming like really short videos, like literally 2 seconds long. But then as the concert went on and I started crying because they put up a message to the Manchester Blinks who were at the Ariana concert, they put up a message saying they're like thinking of us and they're like honoured to be here and stuff. I was crying anyway because it's Blackpink, but I was just really emotional. And then towards the end of the concert, he suddenly started to let me film for longer because he was telling me like, just lower it. You can hear him in some of the videos like, lower your phone. But it wasn't like put it in your bag, like more so just like don't have it in the air. I had it like here. So I was like watching it but then filming it, so if any of the security guards walked past they wouldn't be able to see my phone, but he knew that I was filming. So that's why I have loads of videos for the encore, because I think Aiden just gave up at this point. There's videos of him like shouting at people to put their phones down. But at the end of the day, like, it's the last song, what is he gonna do? Throw them out, do you know what I mean? And especially when the girls came and sat in front of us for Don't Know What to Do, like the encore, everyone had their phones out. It was just chaotic. Throughout the concert, Aiden was giving me water, and he also got one of the streamers that was like let out during one of the songs. He like picked it up for me and gave me it, so I've got that. And you know, he was like nice, and I could tell that he was like being chill about it for some reason. So at the end of the concert, Aiden tried to get me a set list because I'd already asked him before the girls came out that if he was able to, well, can he get me a set list? And he said that he's not allowed to like reach on stage and get one, but if he gets passed one by production, then he'll give me it. So then we were kind of standing around for like 2 minutes, and as we're waiting, I'm airdropping Libby the photos, and then he turned around and he was like, I don't think I'll be able to get you the set list, but did you get good videos? And I was like, yeah. And I was like crying, and me and Libby were crying because of staying like the whole concert. And then he was like, promise you one thing, and I was like, what is it? Promise me you won't cry. And I was like, oh my god. And so then he was like, I'm so proud of you for coming tonight, please take care of yourself, drive home safely. I just want you to film because if you're my daughter, I'd want you to have like all the memories and stuff. And I was like, oh my god. He was like, you're so brave for coming back here, especially on a night like tonight, because it was the day before the 2-year anniversary. And he was just like being really sweet to me. I can't remember what else he said word to word, but he was basically just like, take care of yourself, get home safely, lovely things like that. And I will never forget like the little interaction. And then Libby was crying, and he turned around and he was like, is this your best friend? And I was like, one of them yet. You know, like, you're so lucky to have a best friend like this. And then Libby gave me a big hug, and then we were just sobbing. I'm so happy that you had a good time and stuff. And I could tell that he was like being genuine when he said like, take care of yourself, you know, like, I'm proud of you and stuff. And I was like, this man, like, I met you 2 hours ago and you're making me cry. I was like, okay, on. And he was like, you know, like, the girls were so lovely, like, I'm sure that they love you and stuff. And I was like, shut up, like, stop it, like, you're making it worse. Said that in summer he's being a security guard for some of the Liverpool events. So he was like, hopefully I'll see you soon. And I was like, what's your name? And he said Aiden. I was like, Aiden, I'll see you soon, thank you so much. And then he took a photo of me and Libby because memories. And then we left and went home. I just wanted to explain this story because I know that a lot of people were confused as to how I was allowed to film. Aiden, I know for a fact you're not watching this, but thank you for your message. I received it and I will never forget it. And thank you for making that night so extra special. I really needed it. Obviously, by the amount of times I cried. I definitely needed those words the day before the anniversary. I think that was what made it a lot more intense. I hope you liked this video. I just wanted to share this little experience because it meant so much to me and I love the girls so much. I miss them so much. If you want to go see my favourite photos and videos from the concert, I put them on my Instagram, so you can go follow me there. And yeah, so yeah, I'll see you soon. I'm not sure when, but soon, I promise.